Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, talking fishing. If it's facts about fishing that you want to know, then tune in, folks, cause this is the show. We'll show you all the right bait to use, so sit right back, you got nothing to lose. Doesn't really matter if it's trout or carp, flathead, marlin or a gummy shark. Listen to the guys and you can't go wrong. They'll be talking about fishing till the cows come home. Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
Welcome everyone to Talking Fishing, a big show coming your way tonight, including plenty of new season snapper in Catch of the Week, a 20-pounder to kick things off. We take a look at the announcement of a new artificial reef to be deployed off Sydney and named after the late John Dunphy, the founder of Shimano in Australia. Also, pictures that will make your blood boil of another disgraceful example of poor management of a boat ramp in Victoria. All that and plenty more, so let's get into it. With a big welcome to the man who travels by kayak, Adam Ring. Welcome, Ads.
Thanks, Dave. Was it officially 1 week until the fishing season opens?
Well, the footy's over in a few days.
The Tigers in the grand final.
Tigers, Dustin Martin. Let's introduce Trelly first before we talk about it. And it's always a big welcome to the man all the way from Shepparton and Las Vegas, Stephen Victor Trelford. Welcome, Trelly.
Thank you very much. But interesting you say there, the Tigers are in the grand final.
Did you guys watch Dustin Martin's speech in full? Last night? No. Well, I went for 10 minutes. Yeah. Bruce McAvaney did a lot of the talking. But did you guys, have you guys watched it?
No. Watched a little bit, yeah.
Do yourself a favour and watch the whole lot. I mean, he left school at 14 and, hated work, hated school, hated everything. Yeah. But he's at the pinnacle of what he does best.
Yeah, play football.
And it just gives hope to any kid out there who just loves fishing or wants to be, anything in life.
Even the fat ones.
What?
Even the fat kids. Well, they don't make the cricket and the footy sometimes. They can go fishing. That's why we're here.
Yeah, but Trell, I was just going to say, follow your dreams.
That's it.
Just follow your dreams because he's just a fantastic example of someone who is just at the pinnacle of what he loves, And anyway, it's a big stage this week.
Good on him.
Yeah, very simple. It was a great. Wide-eyed word was from the heart, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Really good.
Folks, let's have a look at what's being caught by the people at home. It's time for Catch of the Week.
Catch of the Week, brought to you by Shimano, providing reliable, trustworthy, quality fishing gear for your enjoyment.
Now, you're at your pinnacle if you can get one of these. Have a look at this. Justin Gatt. He fished off Coronella, which was a hot spot last week.
It was.
That's a 20-pounder.
20-pounder.
Have a look at the hand round the tail of that fish.
Yep.
That is a good fish,
It's always the giveaway of a big snapper when you can't fit your hand around its tail wrist.
Friday night, that was.
Long fish too, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, it'd be 1.1, I reckon.
Love it.
Yeah.
Lead up to that really warm day.
Yeah, wasn't it warm? Like it was so nice. I was at the MCG on Saturday and 30 degrees driving into the city. It was just superb.
I started at the shop at 7 o'clock on Saturday and it was great.
I thought about doing that.
It was great to walk outside and it was actually warm.
Yeah. It was
and daylight.
And daylight, that's right.
It'll change next week. Change this week.
Let's have a look at this. The young fellas are out as well because it is school holidays. 3-year-old Jack Tagle. I think that's how you say it, Tagle, 5 kilo snapper, again, off Coronella, boys. Have a look.
Bigger than him.
Yeah.
Young Jack, what a cracker, eh? And I just heard, word on the street said that he wound that in himself. So that's
well played,
good work.
A lovely fish for young Jack.
Well played.
On your Jack, man.
Let's have a look over at the top end of Western Port because there's some beautiful fish coming from there as well. Chris from the Lobster Cave. What a beautiful looking fresh fish. Look at that. I love some, when they get the flash and the right light, the blue in the fins.
Perfect, isn't it?
The fish giving a wave.
Yeah, it's given a wave.
Hi guys, I'm on TV.
Not to be outdone, the land-based brigade are out.
Yeah.
And while it's been warm, it's also been windy. And if there's a bit of west or a bit of north, the Mount Martha mornings and rocks are always good. And Aaron Bairami, he got down to Mount Martha Rocks and have a look at that. That is a beautiful looking snapper. Have a look at that.
Not bad land-based, is it? I'll be happy to catch one.
Lots of land-based stuff going on.
Yeah, it's good.
You can see really pretty rough conditions in the background of that photo too. Yeah. So that's when to get there. Well, I think the code's been broken, Trilly. You know, it's rough.
Yeah,
under the cover of that disturbed water, the fish come in close, but only in certain parts of the coast of Port Phillip Bay.
Yeah, so do you think a bit of water temperatures changing at this time of year, or we're starting to see this?
No. Someone, who was I speaking to today? Old Tom from Rosebud. He fished this morning and said it was 11.1 on his sounder. Now,
cold.
You wouldn't know if that was Fahrenheit or with old Tom, because you wouldn't know. And I also spoke to Michael Buxton, the chairman of Future Fish, and he had a swim at Brighton Bars this morning and said it was 11.23.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
To be precise, he said it was quite cold.
Just a bit of movement,
Yeah.
land-based.
I thought you were talking about
movement.
Never mind.
Now, boys, we don't see much of this, right? But there are other species in Port Phillip Bay at this time of year than calamari or
No way.
snapper.
You're wrong.
And if you want to target this species, there's probably lots of big ones around. Have a look at this. A 45 centimetre King George whiting from Stony Point by Logan Perner.
Yep.
Now, Logan, that's a cracker.
It's a good
fish.
whiting.
Yeah.
You know, and people have got to understand, as the water does get warmer, because it is getting really warm in places.
That's it.
The whiting are just as good as the snapper. They turn on.
Yep.
And Logan, I'll tell you what, you're wearing a great hat there. Just ring David and he'll give you something for it. Okay?
What will
you
give
go.
him?
Logan, I said ring Dave the next couple of days and he'll give you a present for that, wearing that really good hat.
Let's not forget the Surf Brigade. There's the hat. Let's not forget the Surf Brigade, because Gunnamatta is on fire at the moment. There's salmon in the bay, but there's also salmon on all our surf beaches, and Anthony Torpy got down to Gunnamatta during the week, and have a look at that. Wearing the fluoro beanie so that he can be seen.
Yep. So his mates
In
can
case
see.
people want to bump into him, he can be seen on the beaches. But that's a
Daytime.
cracker of a salmon. What?
It is, in the daytime.
Well, you never know. It's OH&S, apparently.
That's right, it is.
Got to be seen to be safe.
That's right.
And again, Christmas holidays, school holidays, the kids are out in force. And do you know what? I heard there was 1,000 people turned up to the Victorian Fisheries Authority Kids Come Try Fishing Day at Lilydale Lake on the weekend. Rex Hunt was there.
Yep.
Handed out, I think, 200 to 300 rods.
Yep.
To kids, but 1,000 people attended the event. And I think this week,
it's really good.
I'm not sure if it's I think it's Saturday, Albert Park Lake in Melbourne.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Interesting.
A lot of yellow belly there.
Yeah, but there'll be plenty of trout too. But have a look at this. Raphael Belosso landed a beautiful rainbow trout in Casey Fields. Now, it was the only fish for the day, but I tell you, I'd be happy if that was the only fish for the day.
Oh, yeah.
That is a nice trout.
Actually, not bad for Casey Fields, is it?
I know. And if anyone hasn't been out of Casey Fields, get down there, because it's an absolutely beautiful venue. It's chock-a-block with fish. They put another 500 in the other week, and it's pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, so
Get amongst it.
if you'd like to send in a pic of your catch of the week, this is what you have to do.
If you want to be like me and have your photo on TV, email your fishing pic to info@ifish.com.au.
And next on Talking Fishing, fisheries news, and we head north for the announcement of Sydney's soon-to-be-deployed artificial reef right after this.
Talking fishing.
We know what you'd rather be doing.
We know what you've really got in mind.
We know you'd rather be out fishing. And today's the day you're gonna wet a line. 'Cause every day's a good day.
Stop wishing. Every day's a chance to drift away.
Drift away.
Every day's a good day for fishing. See you down and tackle world today.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing. We're talking fishing.
Live from the studios of Channel 31 Melbourne, it's now time for some very fishy news.
And we'll quickly get into the news, because we want to show you a bit of a video of Charlie, a very special announcement that you and I attended last Monday night.
Yes.
Which was pretty good in Sydney, so we'll go to that very, very shortly. But just before that, the Victorian Fisheries Authority have just installed signs to remind people to respect rays and skates in the coming months. You might spot the signs next to boat ramps and piers around Port Phillip Bay. If you're fishing and unintentionally catch a ray or a skate, return it to the water as soon as possible without injury or suffering. Ideally, keep it in the water to gently remove the hook or cut the line as close to the hook as possible. If you catch a barbed ray, minimise handling and do your best to stay safe. Don't place rays on hot, dry surfaces and use wet hands or wet towels to assist. If you love rays and skates like we do, then let's work together and give them the respect they deserve. So please look out for those signs, and please, if you see someone doing the wrong thing, say something, because they're a beautiful creature and you need to look after them. Moving right along, the headline is illegal netters foiled. Plans ends with a seized van. Trelly.
I just wonder about the hot, dry surface.
Like
it's not a frying pan,
no,
is it?
No, don't go there.
Sorry.
2 men and a woman were arrested and had their van and fishing equipment seized after allegedly catching 61 fish with an illegal net at Lake Tyers last Monday night. Is there some idiots around or not? Acting Senior Fisheries Officer Matt Bateson said the trio intercepted by fisheries officers as they arrived home in Lake's entrance. It will be alleged that the trio drove to the Toolaroo Arm Bridge on the Princess Highway near Lake Tyers in a white Toyota Hiace, and at approximately 6 p.m. last Monday night. They allegedly set an illegal monofilament mesh net under the bridge, then left the area in their van. Now, when they were intercepted and searched, fisheries officers found 1 live mullet. That's all they found. A short time later, officers retrieved a 22.5 metre mesh net from under the bridge that had caught 48 bream, 2 luderick and 11 mullet in the short time it had been set. The van was seized along with the mesh net, and the 3 offenders will be charged with offences under the Fisheries and Crimes Act and summoned to appear in the Bairnsdale Magistrates Court. Do you say Bairnsdale or Barnsdale?
Well, it depends which school you went to. Yeah. Castle or Castle?
Yeah. Mr. Bateson said bream move up the estuary to spawn at this time of year, so the type of activity had the potential to threaten the long-term sustainability of the fishery. It's very disappointing to find people prepared to engage in illegal fishing with a blatant disregard for the environment. Isn't it sad that people are still doing that?
But might be a cheap Toyota Hilux getting around shortly.
Yeah. And some brim. All set for a hot, dry surface.
That's all set for that's right. Nah, it's silly. Really is.
It is, yeah. But anyway, now, Charlie, last week we were privileged to head up to Sydney for a very special event.
Oh, correct, yes.
And it was, now, I think New South Wales led the way in Australia for new artificial reefs, and Victoria certainly caught up, but New South Wales have done many artificial reefs, particularly in estuaries, but I think from memory they've only done 1 offshore, but they're about to launch a new one. You and I fled, you and I flew.
Flew at the end of the night.
We did at the end of the night. You and I flew to Sydney and we filmed a bit of the event. Let's have a look at what happened in Sydney last Monday night.
We've seen a lot tonight about the legacy that John has left behind and his contribution to a wonderful sector and a wonderful industry. And that's really reflected tonight when you look around the room and see representatives from industry, representatives from the media, and everyone that's gathered here tonight to celebrate this announcement. And the legacy that he is leaving behind is a testament to that hard work. And not just hard work for himself, but hard work for the industry. And it's fair to say that he was a visionary when it comes to recreational fishing, not in just New South Wales, but this country. And today, when as a minister I stand up and I rattle off that there are over 1 million wreck fishers in New South Wales, the industry employs over 14,000 people and contributes about $3.4 billion to the New South Wales economy. Again, that's a fantastic legacy to leave behind. So on behalf of the New South Wales Government, on behalf of the Department of Prime Industries, and on behalf of everyone that had contact with John, that met him, but is also riding off the back of his courage, his vision, and his hard work, it's my absolute pleasure to unveil the plaque tonight for JD's Artificial Reef.
Now we're here with Colin Tannehill, the Managing Director of Shimano Australia Fishing. No stranger to the couch, because you did join us on the couch last season for an hour. Yeah. That was all good. But Colin, You've showcased the Shimano facility here tonight in a very, very important occasion, the John Dunphy Artificial Reef. What does it mean to the legacy that John's left and the Shimano brand?
David, I am bursting with pride to be able to host this event. I'm so proud that the New South Wales Department of Primary Industries acknowledged what John has done for recreational fishing, for the Australian Fishing Trade Association, for Shimano, for anglers in general, for politicians. There's so many people that he's helped, and they've paid him the ultimate homage by launching this reef and deploying this reef in his honour, calling it the JD Reef. And I just think it's fantastic that they gave us the opportunity to present tonight as their event in our venue, because they knew we had the venue to do it. And we have that venue because of the history of what John created. So for our founder to be acknowledged like that, it's a very important day for Shimano.
Shimano's just one of those brands we saw in an earlier video commemorating John's life about it started off as a tiny imported product to becoming a household name. Shimano is now a household name, and to be able to go out and fish JD Reef and say you caught a big snapper or a kingfish or whatever, it's pretty special. It just cements another household brand into everybody's mind that goes fishing.
Yeah, it does. And Matty Hayden summed it up when he said Shimano is a global brand. It's like it's a Grey Nichols or it's a Shimano. That's what it is. And Johnny Stevens is here tonight from Noiseworks, and he came up to me and said, "Mate, that's the best thing I've ever seen. Like, well done." He's only come back from Europe 2 days ago, but he came. Haydos broke his holiday to come. We've got some fantastic people here tonight.
Well, the whole Dunphy family's here tonight.
Yeah, the whole Dunphy family.
Just amazing to see.
The continuous call team. Mark Levy emceed. Might have called more NRL grand finals at him, by the way. But anyway.
But this doesn't just come on board, does it, Cole? I mean, this has been a long, hard road over probably 30 years probably in Shimano, but 45 years in the industry.
Yes.
So it's not just paved, it comes along. It's just built over all this time. John's involved with media, John's involved with government, John's involved with recreational fishing. I mean, it all comes into one package, and it's a long, hard thing to get to this point where recreational is recognised only through people like John. It's a fantastic event.
Yeah, it's no doubt. And I don't know if the Minister spoke with you about it, but in his presentation in there, he mentioned everywhere he goes, he gets touched by the legacy of John Dunphy. Yeah. John said this, John did this, John did this.
Yeah.
So that's an ultimate compliment when somebody didn't even know him, didn't have the opportunity to meet him, already could peel off 15 legacies of John Dunphy like that.
That's right. A little bit's rubbed off on you.
I had a good mentor.
A little bit's rubbed off on Colin Tanner.
Yeah, I don't quite drink the Sauv Blanc bloke, Jamie.
Well, Charlie, here we are. This is the plaque that is going on the John Dunphy Reef out of Sydney, and what a beautiful plaque it is.
It is actually, David, and it's going to become one of a part of a cluster of actually artificial reefs out there. So it's a legacy to John, Shimano, and the team here, which works so hard to be recognised by government, by local, state, and federal, and by recreational anglers Australia-wide. So yeah, it's fantastic.
We were joined by Matty Hayden not so long ago as well. Let's have a listen to what Matty had to say about the great John Dunphy. Right, we're just joining Matty Hayden, Australian cricketer. Matty, you were good friends with John Dunphy for a long time.
Yeah, I first met John in 91. Jeff Thompson introduced me to him, and I thought it'd be a good idea to meet him. So we've remained friends ever since. I guess fishing and sport, there's great correlation. But lifetime friendship is probably what you want most out of any sort of recreational fishing.
Fishing, not just sportsmen, but fishing brings everybody together. There are so many people that go fishing, and John just led the way, didn't he? In his era, he changed fishing forever, and we've seen tonight a great legacy, a great thing to be left forever in the name of John Dunphy.
Yeah, well, Ricky Ponting probably said it best. He says you can't bullshit bullshitters. So if you're part of the fishing community, I think you've got to be the greatest bullshitter on the planet. It's always the one that got away, the one that should have been here yesterday.
It was a metre long.
Yeah, it was.
Just didn't measure it.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, you're right. Look, in all seriousness, JD was a guy that was inspirational to the industry. In particular, we stand behind his legacy here, his product ranges, and his way that he went about his life. I think one of the great legacies he left me personally was that that sort of business saying that, you know, it's not personal.
Yeah.
Actually, to JD, it was really personal.
Yes.
He reversed that model around, and this legacy now having, you know, being an environment where you can go and fish is again making his legacy personal to the fishing community.
That's right. He did make it personal because it was only the last number of years that I got a little bit closer to John. And if you ever want a deal to do something or to advertise his product or promote something of his, he would really, you know, take you under his wing and say, right, Charlie, you know, we need to do this. What do you need from me? And you got that sort of relationship built with him, and he was just so fantastic to work with.
He was great fun, you know, full stop. He used just to have that sort of cheekiness about his personality that would make any fishing trip great. I spent a lot of time with him. And his guitar.
Yeah.
He was shithouse at that, but you know, he was just great to travel with. He was a great supporter of a project that we've got up in the Tiwi Islands as well. So he had a fantastic altruistic nature as well. He's always giving back to various communities that were certainly important to Shimano, but also important to the fishing industry in general.
Yeah. I think one of the things you said in tonight's speech was that John would be looking down on everybody tonight and just smiling from ear to ear.
Yeah, he'd be stoked, John. You know, I think anything in and around recreational fishing, he was always happy to promote it. Not just him, but you know, other people in the industry as well. You know, I think he genuinely would be really happy to understand that a kid or a kid with a father, you know, would go to his reef, would catch that fish, you know, would come home and tell 1,000 lies about it.
Yeah.
You know, that's was exactly what he loved in life.
Well, there you have it. What a fantastic occasion. Trelly and I were privileged to be up here at Shimano headquarters with the head of Shimano, Colin Tannehill. The JD Reef has been launched. When it's deployed, get up to New South Wales and have a fish on it. I tell you what, Trelly, and John Dunphy certainly touched all of Australia, didn't he, with his vision for fishing and his drive to improve things.
Yeah, he was instrumental in a lot of ways in what he'd done and how he done it, and how he actually, exactly what you said, influenced people, because he was so passionate about it. Yeah. He just made it work.
Yeah.
We just got to do this.
Yeah.
Let's get it done.
We saw some things that, obviously we couldn't show everything that happened that night, but we saw how Shimano started a little shed and little import company, you know. It really did change Australia, and talking of changing Australia, I noticed a few people watching some of this from all around Australia, like Hogues from Noosa is watching, Alicia from Port Lincoln is watching. It's all around Australia. People are interested in what John Dunphy and Shimano are doing, so pretty good. Up next, Product of the Week and all the info on this year's Trout Conference. See you soon on Talking Fishing.
Talking Fishing.
Good morning, spotters. Stephanie speaking.
Hi, David Kramer here. If you love talking fishing, why not get your company involved? Just go to talkingfishing.com.au and click the link to help support the show. Get on board today.
Talking Fishing.
Product of the Week, brought to you by Tackle World.
Talking Fishing.
Now, it's not so much Product of the Week this week we're going to launch out there. It's the reminder of the week, because as we near the AFL Grand Final, we mark the start of our fishing season in Victoria, and that means you've got to get your safety gear in check. Now, life jackets, we all know and we've harped on about in this show plenty of times before, and I'm going to harp on about it again. Not only do you have to have a life jacket, like this one I'm holding here, which is your standard, I guess, vest-style jacket. Don't need to inflate it. Really, really great for the kids, but not so much the adults as they get a bit bulky and a little bit cumbersome. But the inflatable, which I've got beside me here, which is this one, I want to talk about a little bit. Please remember they need to be serviced and they need to be checked. So if your inflatable life jacket is more than 12 months old, that is from your purchase date, not the manufacture date, please jump onto the website of whichever manufacturer of life jacket you have, download the little PDF which will show you how to service them yourself, fill in the documents and have a look, because it is something that the water police are cracking down on and have done for quite a number of years now. So check them, fill in the appropriate information and have a look, because they will find you, Trelly.
They will.
And
Nothing
only
like-
about $40 or so to service them now. We've got an agent down at the shop that does that.
Yeah.
And it doesn't cost you much. You
No,
know.
and there are a handful of jackets which the water snake one which Trelly's holding there, you can service it yourself, but you need to go through the proper avenues. You need to download the document, read it, sign it, keep it on your boat.
Yep.
But there are a few manufacturers out there now. Stormy Seas is one off the top of my head that you do need to get it professionally
That's right.
serviced. You can't do it yourself.
Yeah, so safety first, wear protection.
There you go. Another one which we always forget about come this time of year is the old flare. Please check the dates. They have a 3-year lifespan. Have a look, because it's always the one where you don't know it is expired until old mate comes onto your boat and has a look. So remember to check your flares. There's a set of 4 2 handheld red and 2 orange flares. Charlie, stop moving around. It's coming through your microphone.
Oh, sorry.
There's so please check your flares, because we all get done by it. It's a 3-year thing, so it's not exactly at the front of your mind to check, but have a look, because you will need to make sure you've got a set of in-date flares.
Charlie, are you wearing flares tonight? No? You boys have got, we haven't got a cameraman in the studio tonight, but you guys are wearing matching pants.
We are.
How cute.
So mine's got
there you go. Look.
Mine's got a snail trail on it. Yeah, no, from tea.
Spilt your snails.
And those flares, don't put them on the back of your motorbike and light them and run around the campfire, right?
No. Or take them to the soccer.
Yeah, that's right.
Do not take them to the soccer. They don't like that at the soccer.
Yeah.
The third thing I want to show you,
There's
which
a torch.
a lot of us don't realise, it's not just a torch, Dave.
Oh, it's a dolphin.
It's a dolphin.
It's a reserve torch.
It is both a waterproof and floating torch. So please be aware that it does need to be floating. It's not just there on the fine print to make it look pretty. It must float. I have actually heard instances where the water police will grab your torch and throw it overboard to make sure it does float.
Cool.
So get the appropriate torch. It is a required safety item for all boats, so make sure you've got one. Again, must be waterproof and must
go.
float. Oh, yeah, and must work.
Must work. Not unlike this one.
I'll tell you what, some of the stories we get. Some people have actually been done because they've got their torch, and that's great. But the batteries are still taped to the outside.
Oh, yeah,
right. So please make sure the batteries are in it.
Yeah.
And it's ready to go.
Yeah.
So that's the torch.
Simple check.
These are a couple of little ones, which now we're getting a little bit specific. These are the old paddle, which you must have this for a lot of the small boats. Dave, correct me if I'm wrong. Is it a 4.8 or a 5.2 metre?
4.8. I'm not sure.
4.8?
4.8.
Yeah, so you must have paddles on a boat 4.8 metres or smaller. These little telescopic things are great because you can throw them in a gunnel or up in a hatch or something. And
excellent.
Easy as that.
How good's that?
They're good. Yeah.
So they're easy to stow, and you must have them. So obviously
you take it into a nightclub.
Yeah.
And do what with it?
Yeah. Hit a ceiling.
So that's the,
you can like
the paddle.
You can extend it and impress girls or something.
That's right.
Yeah.
And last but not least,
the duck bill.
The baler. You've got to have one again. It's 4.8 or below.
Bet you would have loved one of those in your day, Charlie, to bail you out.
Yeah, I know.
You've been through a few of them, haven't you?
Absolutely, yeah.
Please note that a bucket with a lanyard attached also counts as a baler. So
that doesn't need to be attached.
It's got a little hole, I suppose.
Yeah,
so.
could be.
But there's your baler. Make sure you've got one because, again, it's one of those little ones that is quite easy to skim over and not have on your boat. That's the baler. Moral of the story, please check all of your safety gear. Please make sure it's all in date. Your life jackets are serviced and you will get left alone and not have to pay any extra fees.
That's right.
You have a rope attached to that, Eds?
I'm not sure on a baler.
Well, you use it as a sinker holder
if you've
too.
done any homework before this
none.
safety.
I'm actually not 100% sure it's 4.8 metres or 5.
Nah, that's right.
But we'll roll with it.
But you can use it as a sinker holder too. So
you can
put your sinkers in
it. Yeah, except when you've got to bail out real quick.
You drink out of that, don't you, Charlie?
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, you can fill it up with ice and scotch and coke.
So there you go. Product of the week, safety gear. Make sure you're all over it.
Well done, boys. Coming up very, very shortly. In fact, I think month and a half, 6 weeks or something, is the Trout Conference. We've got all the details coming up on the screen right now, but get to it. It's the Talk Wild Trout 2017 conference. It's on Saturday the 11th of November, which is the weekend after the Melbourne Cup, boys.
Correct.
starts at 9 o'clock in the morning, goes right through till 4:30. It's at the Mansfield Performing Arts Centre, 15 View Street. You can walk from the pub. To reserve a free seat, visit vfa.vic.gov.au/talk-trout. Registering helps the VFA plan seating and catering, which includes lunch and refreshments, and seats are limited. Now, Ads, you been to one?
No, I haven't.
You haven't been to the trout one? We've been, Charlie, the last couple of years. All three of us are going this year, aren't we?
Yep.
Ads?
Yep, I'll be there if you give me the day
booked.
Yeah, you can have the day off. Don't worry about that. It's seriously a good conference. You get to learn all about trout, but you also get to learn about all the rivers of that northeastern precinct of Victoria and just how well they're fishing. They do tracking. They do some tests on how well they're spawning. This year they put eggs in an incubator in the river to see if they'd actually hatch, and we'll get all the results of that. So really, really interesting science on trout.
Some of that information, especially on the rivers, not so much the trout itself, but the rivers, that stuff's priceless.
Yeah.
When you're trying to
and you get in a book to take away with you.
Yep, that's magic.
It's really good.
And it's a good weekend all round to just go and have a fish while you're up there. So
definitely.
Around that Mansfield area, you've got the Houck with the Delatite, just beautiful rivers. So get up there on Saturday the 11th of November. It's a great conference. Up next, Kramer's Mailbag, right after this on Talking Fishing.
Talking Fishing.
Make mine a Mornington.
G'day, David Kramer here. I'm a massive fan of the Mazda BT50, having personally driven and owned one for more than 5 years now. And to tell you what, you can't beat them for an all-round great ute and a great tow vehicle. Get into Mornington Mazda before the end of the month and grab yourself a run-out bargain. I made mine a Mornington Mazda.
Make mine a Mornington Mazda.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
Plenty of mailbag this week, boys, and this one will get your goat going, I can tell you.
Here we go.
All right, here we go.
Get on my goat.
Troy writes to us, he says, "Hi guys, this one makes my blood boil. With all the dramas with Rye Boat Ramp and Hastings Boat Ramp, the Shire allows this to happen. This ramp was usable during the week by 4x4. And I went to check it out and they have had it excavated so no one can use it. Capel Sound in Tutkarook." So what they've done is they've got a bobcat or something like that and they've cleared all the sand off the ramp, but they've pushed it to the end of the ramp. When you contact the Shire about any problems, they just reply with, "Sorry, it's a private run ramp." The ramp has been there for 50 years. Have a look at these photos. 2 metres more, it would have been open for everybody to use. But no, they couldn't do that. Instead, they leave it useless. No ramp should be privately owned. This crap has to stop. Fishers need to stand together or be screwed over. And Troy is 100% right. Yeah. Why would anyone... I mean, the contractor who was contracted to push that sand should be hung and flogged. Seriously, why would you leave sand in between the end of the ramp and the water so that people can't use it?
He's taking the piss, surely.
No, because... So I thought, is this right? So I rang Reliable Tom today. And Tom rang...
Reliable Tom.
He just about lives there. There's this band of ramp rats that go down and they, have a chat every night down there. And he said that they rang the whoever it is that's in charge of that ramp, and they said, "We probably won't be able to finish that because we haven't got the funds until November." So they've been
2 metres of sand.
The last 2 metres of sand. That committee of management needs to be hung. Because that is just the biggest load of crap.
Which committee of management is this?
The Capel Sound Foreshore.
Capel Sound Foreshore.
Yeah, that run that boat ramp. Trelly, these people are going to wonder why boat ramps are taken off them because they could not manage a chook raffle in a poultry farm. Don't get me started.
That's a good one.
They couldn't. All right, let's get on with it. Don't get me started.
Good.
As they're yelling at me. Peter, he writes to us, "Hi Tilly. Can you think about opening a shop around our Tona ramp? Thanks." Totally right. I'm guessing Tilly's you, mate.
All right.
Trelly.
I'll turn around.
T-I-double-L-Y.
Oh, yeah, no worries,
If you
yeah.
could just, mate, have that done by Monday.
Yeah. You want
Don't
ice creams
mind.
as well?
Yep. Now, Greg, he writes to us, Greg writes, Rye boat ramp needs an upgrade. Really? Don't let the objectors win. You may or may not know that a couple of months ago, the Mornington Peninsula Shire, geez, them again, they are beating Hobson's Bay, aren't they? Like, there's this trophy.
On the hate list.
There is this trophy for the worst council to manage boat ramps.
Yep.
Mornington Peninsula is officially beating Hobson's Bay.
Yep.
And Hobson's Bay will be very rich with the charges they're charging. But the councillors finally ratified and approved a plan to upgrade the Rye boat ramp and facilities. As with most decisions made by council, there were plenty of objectors, and they had their time to be heard. However, since the approval went through, the objectors are now taking the matter to VCAT, which will be heard in February.
What would you object about?
Trell, you've got to understand, these are the same people that created that dolphin sanctuary.
Oh,
and can't keep the dolphins in there.
Ah.
They'll be heard in February. The objectors were fairly well organised and have had petitions running. We need to meet their petition with plenty of signatures from the fishing community to make VCAT understand that this is a well-supported upgrade by many fishermen and holiday makers of the southern Mornington Peninsula. Please sign the petition now in support. Now, if you go to change.org and just search for Mornington Peninsula Shire Rye boat ramp upgrades, get on there and sign it. Thank you, Greg, for letting us know about that. Plenty of mail, boys. Hi, David. Just a reminder that this week is the last opportunity for the public to have your say on the Mornington Peninsula Shire the Hastings boat ramp. Well, news today, boys. And I know a few people have said, we're getting on the bandwagon. Well, we get on the bandwagon for a reason. Today, the CEO of the Mornington Peninsula Shire called 93-year-old Don Newman into his office. He said, Donnie,
happy birthday, Donnie.
Donnie in the office now, the CEO of the Mornington Peninsula. And he said, Donnie, we got it wrong. We stuffed up.
Oh.
We shouldn't be putting a walkway in front of the slipway of the boat ramp. We shouldn't have halved the car parking that's available in the overflow car park. Donnie says to me that they're thinking about changing it.
You know what? Respect to them for actually saying, bucket it up.
And that takes a big man to face up to 93-year-old Don.
Fair unit.
So, Don, thank you for letting us know about that.
And the $4 million consultative session that went past and probably paid for.
27 people.
That would have been dining at the Lobster Cave this week. The project's over. They've got their money. They've done a plan that didn't work. Ron, he writes to us and he says, hi, David and panel. As if they need to prove how little they know about boating in their region. The Mornington Peninsula Shire boat ramp season.
Clear ahead now.
Yeah, they are.
So they're
it's like a Brownlow.
The Mornington Shire boat ramp season pass starts in the middle of the snapper season, the 1st of November. Surely that does not cater for the needs of local boaters.
3 votes, Mornington Peninsula Shire.
Yep.
27 angry.
They actually could beat the best on ground, the Dustin Martin. Was it the record number of best on grounds? Yeah, Mornington Peninsula Shire beating Dustin Martin.
36 votes.
Thanks for that, Ron. Ian writes to us. Oh, the subject is boring.
Oh, righto.
Hastings development, boring. Get on with the show. Had enough of the boring monologue on last week's show. Talking fishing is a political football. Give us a break or lose viewers. Thanks, Ian. Appreciate it.
Righto.
If you don't care about Hastings, Ian, we won't push that barrow, but don't worry about all the thousands of people that use it and are suffering because councils don't want to...
But we'll stick up for him in his backyard when something happens.
Yeah. Well, maybe we won't. He finds us boring.
No, we'll do it anyway.
Okay. Imagine someone calling you boring, Charlie. You've never been boring in your life.
People can call me anything, really. It just doesn't worry me. It just doesn't worry me.
If you'd like to write into Kramer's mailbag, this is what you do.
Send your mail to Kramer's Mailbag, PO Box 734, Patterson Lakes, Victoria 3197, or email kramer@ifish.com.au.
Well, let's keep Ian entertained now.
That's right.
Yellow belly in Eildon's got to be starting to turn on soon. What is going? Is it still cold? What's happening? No reports.
Couple of sneaky reports. A couple of sneaky ones. Mainly
Travis Dowling's dad.
Yeah.
So you've been up there.
Yeah. he was part of the two women and a girl. But no, poaching. No, no. The yellow belly just staying there. You know, we've got a little bit of a water temperature change coming on, and it will start. I know not so much Eildon, but the Goulburn and the Murray and things like that. They're starting to catch a few yellow belly. A few of the old timers down there, a bit of time on their hands, and they're fishing mainly big scrubby worms. Very little weight. So when you cast out, you apply this to Eildon as well. When you cast out and you get your rig. You'll notice when you cast out and it goes to the bottom and your line just relaxes when it hits to the bottom. Right, just wind it up just gently. Point the rod tip at the entry point to the water. Put it on the ground. Open your bail arm. Put an empty stubby on it, right, or a can, and then or a gum leaf or something, and then just sit back. Right, because the yellow belly they're like brim fishing. They don't want resistance. So, and when the yellow belly pick it up, they'll just run with it, and the line will come out. Pick up your rod, close the bail arm, point at it, and there's the slow sort of whack, not a real hard one, just a whack, and that's how you're catching the yellow belly. So they're starting to come on. You watch the next few weeks. It'll
just
happen.
A light whack.
Just a light whack.
What do you put the stubby, the can, or the gum leaf on?
Well, it just holds the line. It just
on
when
the
you
line,
open your
so the
bail
line's
arm,
on the ground.
Put your ground, So just put something on it, just so when the fish takes it, just flips it off. Yeah, so just a very little resistance.
Trelly's tips involving empty stubbies, cans, or a gum leaf. The high-tech tips there. Coming up next, this week's Hotspots. We'll be back shortly on Talking Fishing.
Talking Fishing.
G'day, Callan here from Paul Worslam's Tackle World Cranbourne. Supercharged batteries have been supplying maintenance-free marine batteries since 2001. The Seamaster Gold range is second to none, delivering superior starting power and reserve capacity. No need to top up with water, truly a fit and forget battery. With up to 2 years replacement warranty, you know you have quality. Your battery is your lifeline. Without it, you're dead in the water because it's bloody hard to push start. I've got a Seamaster battery in my boat. Make yours a Seamaster Gold today.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
And now the segment you've all been waiting for.
Hotspots, brought to you by Seamaster Batteries. Make yours a Seamaster Gold today.
All right, let's see if we can put people onto a fish. This grand final long weekend, boys.
Exactly.
Yeah, long weekend.
That's right.
It gets people excited to have Friday off. And I haven't even looked at the weather. I think it's all right Friday, Saturday, a little bit of rain in the morning, grand final.
Tigers are in.
Tiger Army's out.
Just before we go to Hotspots.
100,000 tigers.
Ads, Tigers or Crows?
Tigers, because it pains me to say it, but got to go to Melbourne team, don't you?
Trelly?
Yeah, Tigers. They haven't won in a long time. It's just a homegrown grassroots team.
Say you got to lose one to win one.
Adelaide.
Yeah, I just think the Adelaide Crows might be, finish top of the ladder.
Well, I think Adelaide will win, but I'm going for Richmond.
Okay. All right. Let's send people out onto the bay if you want to catch an early season snapper. Frankston, 14 metres of water. Count my words. 14 metres of water off Frankston. There's some beautiful snapper starting to migrate in the bay and hang around that area and get there. The simple pilchard will do the job. Nothing more, nothing less. It's very cold out there. The water is still very, very cold, but the snapper are in the bay, and if you want to have a great chance at one in out of the boat, 14 metres off Frankston. The other thing is, and we've seen plenty of reports of late, is Mount Martha rocks. Ads, tell us what you need to do.
You need, basically, if it's a horrible day to go fishing, that's when you should be getting on the rocks. So please think safety first, because as Dave mentioned at the top of the show, anything with a northerly or a westerly in it, prime conditions, rougher the better. The snapper absolutely love getting amongst the wash and that turned up water. Water's coming in and smashing the rocks and releasing all the nutrients and bits and pieces which have been sitting and growing on the rocks over the calm weather. I would get amongst it. It's actually more reliable than what you'd think.
Yeah, need a good blow. And land-based is something that's really... It was funny, we had Ads down in our Geelong store there. Went down, he fished off one of the spots on the rocks over the other side there. And he left his pilchards on the rocks, and he thought he hasn't got the little bit of stuff you put on your time on.
Bait thread.
So he's torn up to the bank, come down, and the seagulls have taken all his pilchards.
All his bait.
He's cast it out. about 40 seconds later, big run, snap. His bloody pilchard he had.
Oh, no.
He reckons it's about 10 kilos. Just going on what he knows about fishing, busting off. But secure your pilchards.
Oh, that is gold. And there's some beautiful land-based areas in Geelong, isn't there, for snapper too?
It's a real good,
probably not based
Fishing
around bad weather, and they just migrate into there. So don't forget that there is some monster calamari in the bays at the moment, the Western Port and Port Phillip Bay, and there is no better place right now. I heard of some monsters being taken during the week off the Tyre Bank, boys.
Very, very big calamari there at the moment. Fish big jigs. Don't be afraid. 3.5s, 4s if you want to. Get amongst it.
Some of those are dory colours. I know there's the new King George whiting colour.
Yes.
Is just absolutely gold in some of those areas because there's a lot of whiting in the water, particularly in Western Port, and if you can get the King George whiting colour in the dory, it is number one, people are telling us. So, as always, and I know the township of Coronella, they hated all the locals. You can't, I mean, the traffic at 4 o'clock in the morning is just bumper to bumper through the little township of Coronella, but it is snapper capital this time of year, isn't it?
Well, we saw a 20-pounder in Catch of the Week, first thing, straight on top of the show. So, it's going to continue to be there every single week, Coronella. It's just an absolute snapper hotspot.
The other one is, heading inland, the Goulburn River for trout. If Tom Hughes can catch trout in the Goulburn River, anybody can. And some beautiful rainbows and browns. A few of those brood stock, ex-broods are in the river. Yes. Obviously, they stock a little bit in that Goulburn River area. But if you want to virtually guarantee yourself a nice trout from a stream, the Goulburn's the place to go, Charlie. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, little minnow's been working quite well. Power bait. Just be a little bit careful. I come over today at Seymour there, and it is up a little bit. So if you're going to, get on the edge of the bank with waders, and that, be really, really careful. But it's fishing very, very well. So When you say it's up, is that because of irrigation?
That's because of environmental flow. So what they're doing is they're pushing water out of Eildon. It's coming down to Nagambie, Lake Nagambie. It's actually been pushed out through some of those western channels, through Ranga Basin, and those channels go right down through to Swan Hill. A couple of Atlantic salmon been caught actually in those channels way out there, which is unusual.
Atlantic salmon?
Atlantic salmon, yeah.
Where are they coming from?
I think they were stocked into Ranga Basin there a number of years ago. But it's interesting what comes out of it. But that's where you flow, Eildon through there and through
You just get a feeling that this year, same as last year, we went straight from winter to summer. We've had a very cold, long and wet winter. And yet in Orbost, was it yesterday or Sunday, they were asking people to evacuate or stay and be prepared to fight a fire. We've already experienced some some very, very warm conditions and bushfires straight away, straight out of winter. So
hopefully the downpour between now and sort of like Melbourne Cup would be good to get a good downpour through there.
So it's been quite dry where you've been.
Absolutely. And I mean for farmers, that's a couple of things. Dry land, dry guys are really sort of like in a bit of a problem. Horticulture, they can feed their plants by drip feeding now. It's very, very successful. And fishing is actually really good in a dry season because we've got some really good reserves of water in our larger lakes. So if it's dry, it will fish. Our inland waters will fish exceptional in the next 6 months. Really good.
The other place that fishes really, really well this time of year is the Maribyrnong River, and like many of our little systems that run into Port Phillip Bay, they're holding very, very nice bream at the moment, aren't they, Ads?
Yeah, that's right. Now the bream will start pushing up the rivers now. They're starting to get amongst their spawn mode. So exactly the way you told us about how to fish for a yellow belly, you can convert that over to bream and do exactly the same thing in the Maribyrnong. Nice big scrubby. As little weight as possible. None would be absolutely ideal.
Freshwater yabbies, pretty good too.
Freshwater yabbies, and just and fish ultra light, and there's a big fish to be caught doing it.
I'm going to push your technology here, Ads. So if you were fishing the Maribyrnong for a nice bream, wanted to maximise, just get that big one, what would you use? An empty stubby, a can, or a gum leaf to hold your line?
Go stubby. The big bream will just crush a can. so I reckon a stubby. Probably put away 3/4 of it. Just leave a little bit because there could be a little bit of a breeze around. You don't want the breeze blowing out. So just a little bit at the bottom. And just hold on.
And leader material, 3 pound leader material. We tried it on the show. I mean, that's mad, but you got to get your head around it.
So that's the hardest part.
That's it. 3 pound, no way. But use it. Get down.
So not only the Maribyrnong, but you have got some beautiful, like Balcombe Creek's good. Patterson River. this Patterson Lake system is so good this time of year.
Correct.
There's all that fresh has come in. There's a lot of food in the system that's like the worms and the yabbies and that has come through the Dandenong Creek system, and they're just beautiful places to fish this time of year. And the brim are big and fat, aren't they?
That's right, and all those places we just spoke about, Patterson Lake system, Maribyrnong, the mulloway will start moving around too. They love that influx of rainwater because it stirs everything up. Those dewies will get around, and there'll be some big fish caught from both those systems in the next few weeks.
Lure fishing, is that as equally as good as your bait fishing and those sort of systems?
It can be. I must admit, if you wanted to catch fish consistently and get numbers of fish, I think bait is a great way to go. I just think you can fish so light with bait and you can hang it in front of a fish for a long time, which with a lure you can't necessarily do. Soft plastics, maybe, but I think you need everything working for you with the worm wriggling around and doing its thing. So I'd still say bait, but the lure fishing will pick up as we move further into spring.
Yeah. There you go. That's it for Talking Fishing. We hope you enjoyed the show. Don't forget, all the information from tonight's show will be up on our Facebook page tomorrow. And a repeat of this show can be watched right now as we're streaming live to Facebook as we do every week. Until we see you again next Tuesday on Talking Fishing, please stay safe on the water and enjoy your fishing.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing. We got all you need, just take a look. Watch those fish jump on your hook. So just relax and take your time. Enjoy the show, then drop us a line. Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing. Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing. Talking fishing.
Have a good weekend, Mr. Walker.
You too, son.